Good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. You were last in Bulgaria in 2006 during the Touring the Angel tour. Do you remember anything about that gig in the Bulgarian audience?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Was it?
Yes, we did, yeah. No, we're not. No, it was terrible. It was awful. And obviously we're upset about the next tour, which was quite tragic, really. But we're looking forward to coming back for next year, next summer.
Would you say that this album is Depeche Mode's most joint effort to date, or?
I don't know. I mean, I think for the first time, everybody was, happier with the way that the demos turned out. When I was, in the songwriting process, which kind of gave us an overall direction for the album. But then we still used Ben Hillier as the producer. We still needed somebody to guide us. We still need that.
I mean, it was pretty much done in the same way, but we're very, very happy with the results, and we finished recording on Friday in New York, and it just needs to be mixed, and we're extremely happy.
Usually we finish, literally Christmas Day, every album. So for us to be finished now, I think that says something. I think it means that we are very happy with the record. Otherwise, we'd be working till Christmas Day.
It means we can now buy our Christmas presents. It's incredible,
What do you say to anyone who dares to say that nothing you do from now on would ever touch upon albums like Songs of Faith and Devotion and Music for the Masses?
Well, it is difficult to compete with those albums. I mean, and Violator as well, of course. But I think all the albums since then have their merits, and I still think they're strong albums. And with lots of good songs, and I think the sound's great. So I don't think this album is diminished at all by the quality of those albums, and I think this album could be up there with the quality of the previous albums.
Do you ever feel self-conscious about putting out the next Personal Jesus?
Well, I don't know.
Well, the good thing about Personal Jesus, it really was so cool as well. The sound of it and everything. So, in that sense, I think to have another Personal Jesus would be a good thing. Yeah.
Do you ever aim for that, or is it more of whatever the process yields, hoping that the fans get it and are happy with it?
Yeah, we don't, go out of our way to try and create another Personal Jesus. It's funny, there's one track in the batch of 19 songs or whatever it was that we recorded that caused us the most grief, and we spent the most time working on because it was the most commercial. And for us, it's always balancing, commerciality with something, something else.
That's commercial as we know it.
Yeah, commercial as we know it. It's maybe not commercial to the rest of the world, but it was, trying not to cross that line of becoming too commercial, and so it was always trying to drag it back into something that was, not quite as straightforward.
You're perceived as the intellectual masters in pop music. What were
I
you
thought
trying?
the Pet Shop Boys were.
Well, for us, it's you. What were you trying to teach us all this time? What's the message, the main message, let's say, you tried to convey?
Oh,
I don't think there's a main message.
No, I like to think that somehow there is some element of spirituality in the music, and quite what that means, don't ask me to expand on that, but I think that somehow that seeps through, and it somehow the people kind of understand that, and that's why it means so much to so many people.
I think it's important, with music, that you touch people in some way, and I think Depeche Mode have been good at that.
The original dark post-punk goth band. What do you make of the entire emo mock vampire culture that seems to be overtaking the world right now?
Well, I don't know, there's all kinds of scenes taking over the world now. There's that, but then there's also, you know, kind of like the X Factor thing, you know, which
Dubstep.
is completely different. Dubstep, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of things taking over the world. And
Got that
like,
Korean grind, Gangland.
yeah, Gangnam Style. And then, you know, I was saying in another interview that I read the other day, somebody said that the 80s revival has gone on longer than the 80s itself. You know, I mean, there's a whole like weird collection of things going on that I don't know what's happening with music.
What do you do when at home? Enjoying the silence, perhaps?
We're just very lucky as a group. You know, we're not celebrities, and we lead completely normal private lives at home, where we can go out, to go to restaurants, go to the movies, and you know, sometimes we get people come up to us, but they're always very polite, nice. Our fans seem to be quite intelligent, you know, and don't cause any hassle, and we lead normal lives, and that's the great thing about Depeche Mode. You know, we do this big stadium tour with all this hero worship, and then we just go home and it's completely normal.
When you were starting out, did you think you'd make it? Can you describe what it was like during the days of Just Can't Get Enough?
Well, it was so exciting when we first started out, you know, when you know, we saw our first single go into the Futurist charts. Which was like a little thing. It was at Sounds. Yeah, it was in Sounds. And like, you know, we made it to like, I don't know, number 8 in the Futurist charts, and we thought, we've made it.
I mean, what was great as well, you know, we were very young. I mean, straight out of school sort of thing. So it was just I mean, the whole career has been a dream. And those years were just, you know, we never had any thought at all that we'd last longer than a year or 2 years, let alone 30 years.
And unfortunately, the Futurist charts, they don't exist anymore.
That's true. But years ago, you're quoted as saying that you thought during your appearance for the Jimmy Kimmel concert series in Hollywood, you feared that no one would show up. 12,000 people ended up showing up. Why did you feel that way, and do you still get that feeling when you're touring or just appearing anywhere? Really?
We've always been slightly pessimistic. Me more pessimistic than him, but he's a little bit pessimistic as well. But you know, it's because that movie, Spinal Tap,
Okay.
and when they go to the
signing.
music signing and no one shows up, you know, and it's so embarrassing, and they're sitting there waiting to sign the records. So after watching that, you sort of always get nervous when you do anything that no one's going to show up. I mean, even this tour, you know, I mean, we take it for granted that it's going to sell well, you know, but you never know.
It's positive to be negative.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a theme that recurs when you're in your music as well? You said yesterday that you think most of your songs are positive, unlike what the fans seem to perceive them as. So is that just part of the characteristic of what Depeche Mode is? Just a little bit of pessimism always doesn't hurt, or?
I think so. I mean, we used to say that we never felt our music was depressing or dark. We felt it was more realistic.
And we feel most pop music is unrealistic.
Even today, well, mostly
Yeah.
today actually.
Yeah,
Probably.
more than ever, probably.
Mm.